Hi, I'm Steve Deubel, and we're here with Ben Bjornstad, and we're going to be talking about your real estate business, the one that you always thought that you'd want to make, but you never took action. Ben, thanks for being with us today.
Oh, thanks for having me again.
Tell us a little bit about, people think that if they are old school, they want to save the money to become wealthy.
Yeah, I think it comes from the model if we have this big pile of cash, then we retire and we just dig into the cash, and then eventually, we pass away, there's some left over. But what I've noticed is nobody can really do that anymore. So instead of creating a pile of cash, create a river, a stream, of constant money coming in, because then you're not working your quote-unquote retirement job. The money's always just coming in.
That's right. And you don't want to have a retirement job if you're retired. You want to be able to go and enjoy life because you've worked your entire life.
Right. I mean, it's counterproductive. It's time to go vacation, and now you got to work another job to supplement the income that you just lost because you're only making a certain percentage.
That's right. That's right. Now, tell us a little bit about interest, because obviously interest rates are constantly in flux, and now the rates are going up as the economy gets better. How does that affect real estate investing?
Well, what's interesting about interest rates is not all interest rates are created the same. Interest rate on a house or a car loan is completely different than an interest rate on a credit card or a commercial line of credit. If you pay 6% on a mortgage on a house, well, a lot of that's front end loaded. And then if you're paying on a credit card, well, you're only paying interest on the days that you have it. And when you understand those two models, a lot of times the credit card interest, even though it says 20%, is actually a lot less than a 6%, mortgage payment on that interest. But what you don't know will cost you money.
Exactly. And this is one of the things, again, knowledge is power. And you want to be able to know what you're talking about when you get involved and decide to make an investment in real estate.
Right. And I would add on to that where the application of knowledge is power, because you can know everything, but if you don't do anything with it, then it's just
it's worthless.
It's a dusty tool.
Exactly. Much like the desert out here,
right?
And now there is land out here, and that's getting into my next point about all real estate isn't created equal.
It really isn't. I think a lot of us watch a lot of, the home networking shows and whatnot, and they see the fix and flip. But there's so many different avenues. Like you can be the bank. Well, that's part of real estate. Or you can own commercial properties, own an apartment building, or, do the fix and flip. Or you can even flip hotels. They're all different. And it can go anywhere from raw dirt to, a multi-level casino in Vegas. That's all real estate. And they're all different. And you got to understand what you like and what you want to do.
And it's so true. And I think the best way to do it is obviously learn from someone who's done it, or somebody who knows the business that you can have contact with, once you get involved, so that you could learn those steps. And how important are those steps in getting started, like with your career?
Well, a lot of times you have to have that accountability. You have to know what to do. And when you start taking the steps that other people have done, you're just following a path. And you just follow the path that somebody did and just do what they did. Just replicate the system. What's nice about real estate is plagiarism's almost legal. Hey, this is how this guy flipped a house. Oh, okay, that's how I flip a house. And you just have to get in that. You just have to know how to do it and know who to work with and know who to tie into.
And I think talking to somebody who knows the system like yourself is important. But then as you start to learn the different types of areas that you need to not really know, because obviously, the average layman wouldn't know everything that, for instance, I know of being a contractor. Mm-hmm. But it doesn't mean that you shouldn't talk to them to get a feel of comfort, so that they know that their education and their expertise is somebody that you can rely on to always call on. So like you said, when you have something that comes up, you pick up the phone, hey, I got this problem, I'll take care of it, and it's all handled, and you don't have to worry about it.
Right, and that's where it comes down to knowing your lane. In the military taught me, you can only do one thing. You can't do everybody's job. So you go build that team where you have the contractor, you have your lender, you have your realtor, whoever it may be, because they know the lane better, and you're going to interview them while they're interviewing you, and you got to make sure it's a good fit. Because if you're a brashy alpha, you're not going to get along with another brashy alpha, and then it just causes friction. But if you work with somebody that complements you, then the sky's the limit.
Yeah, and you do so much more when you have that symbiotic relationship together. And again, it's not anything that anybody else wouldn't do normally if you were going to have subcontractors do work for you.
Right.
So, and again, understanding the educational process, but then applying that and learning the knowledge to to be able to implement it.
And
it's so important.
And hanging out with people who are actually doing it. If you want to be a successful real estate investor, you hang out with successful real estate investors. Arnold Schwarzenegger wanted to be the world's biggest bodybuilder. Who do you hang out with? Bodybuilders, right? This is no different. You got to hang out. You got to surround that sphere of what you want to do with the people who are doing what you want to do. And
that's the one thing that we want to stress is if you want to make a change in your life and be able to use real estate as a vehicle to get there, you need to take action. And I think that's the one thing that Ben and I are trying to drive home today. Make sure that you take action in what you're doing.